Hello, YouTube. Welcome into another part of our One More Marathon here on twitch.tv/thegamemechanic. Today we're talking about Gilgamesh. The purpose of these part zeros is to give you an overview of the leader, maybe give you some ideas on how you might like to play them, as well as how we might like to play them in our series. So first thing we need to talk about with Gilgamesh is this little button. Heroes and Legends changes adventures pretty significantly. I've talked about the previous version of this in previous years and stuff. It's not that exciting. When at war with a common foe, they and their allies share pillage rewards and share combat experience if within 5 tiles. Their alliances gain alliance points for being at war with a common foe, 5 extra combat strengths against units of players at war with you or your ally. So it's actually a really cool ability, and it works incredibly well, probably with like multiplayer or like group strategies. As an ability for Deity or just single player mode, it's really not that exciting because it's really too hard to coordinate. So it's very, very forgettable in that particular instance. But if you're playing with a friend or teaming up against the AI, I can see it being actually very, very fun and very powerful. For us, we change it to 25% production when claiming heroes, and heroes have a 20% extra lifespan. Pairs really well with the Heroes and Legends mode, and just makes kind of sense to have on for this game. This is a fairly new, these are newish game modes, and so this is a new version of that ability, which is fine. It's like as exciting, if not maybe slightly more exciting for this than the previous version, just in terms of playing against Deity and AI and stuff. Epic Quest is recently buffed a little bit, which is nice. I say recently, within the last year or so. When you capture a barbarian outpost, receive a tribal village reward in addition to the usual gold. Pay half the usual cost to levy city-state units. The levy can be nice for era score or repeatable era score, and can also be nice every once in a while in terms of just fighting and being able to kill somebody early. But I will say that the extra tribal village reward is quite nice. Now, it doesn't pair particularly well with barbarian clans mode, because you kind of want to leave them, but you are going to still want to clear some. And so it tends to be worth it to just clear the outpost early, and it can be really good. I mean, there are a lot of powerful rewards you can get from tribal villages, and Epic Quest just helps you get more. The war cart is unfortunately one of the unique units in the game that doesn't really scale with Deity. It's too early and it falls off way too quickly, particularly since city-states get walls to start the game now. Like, this just isn't that exciting. There's not that much you can do with it. Now, it can be helpful. It's a mobile early strong unit. It's strong era score early on as well. So there is some benefit to it. It's also no penalties against anti-cav, meaning spam a couple of these and clear your barbarian outpost with it, pretty much as you wish. So it's there. It's kind of cute. If you're playing on a non-Deity difficulty, I think you can probably get some mileage out of this, but you're not going to be able to do a whole lot with them on Deity. You can use them, but know that like getting 10 of them out to take over your enemy is not going to work, because you're going to run into crossbows and swordsmen and stuff, and they're just going to die. Ziggurat as well, kind of a weak tile improvement in my opinion. Very early, very accessible, just like the war cart. But the upside is pretty limited compared to other tile improvements in the game. Most city-state tile improvements I think I like better than the Ziggurat at this point. You get 2 science and 1 culture if next to a river, can't be built on hills. You get an additional culture later in the game, so at most it's usually like a 2-2-2 kind of tile improvement, which is just too rough. It's a fine like 7th to 10th tile to be working in your city, because it's just a little bit better than a specialist, which specialists are pretty bad in this game. But as like a 2nd or 3rd or 5th tile, like you need production, you need food and stuff. So you might be forced to use it just based on like scarcity and stuff. But it doesn't give you tourism. It just doesn't help that much. And it occupies tiles where like good districts want to go, and dams, and like if you want to go to space, you want dams and industrial zones and all that crazy stuff. Commercial hubs compete for these same tiles. Farms compete for these same tiles. So unfortunately, Gilgamesh, while being an incredible meme and a very popular charismatic leader, isn't all that strong, particularly on Deity. I think start off with him at your lower difficulties, that's fine. But once you get up to Deity level, it just leaves a little something to be desired. It all does something, it just doesn't do all that much. So enjoy. I think he does make a fine space race civ. Getting extra science and culture for just citizens can be fine. And then certainly some nice early game can be useful as well. We'll attempt to do space race stuff with him, as I think that's his natural place. Note that the Deity AI will seem way better at Gilgamesh than you are, because they get massive percentage-based modifiers to things like science and culture. So a snowballing Gilgamesh on Deity AI doesn't mean that Gilgamesh is particularly good at science or anything like that. He's just a bro, and you can bro down with your Gilgamesh. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you in the next one.